Welcome to another video of True Data. My name is Chris van der Zwan. In today's video we're talking about the end of support for SQL Server 2014, which will expire on the 9th of July 2024, in other words, this year. In this video we will discuss your options from do nothing until buying extended security updates, and we will of course explore how to optimize the licensing cost for extended security updates and how to gain 15% cost savings on those licenses. So let's dive into it. So what are your options dealing with the end of support for SQL Server 2014? That starts with do nothing and accept the security risks. You could download the latest patch. You could ask yourself how many times those patches will come. But be aware when you will procure later in time the extended security updates, you will still pay for the full year backwards to when the support was ended. So first do nothing and then wait until the first patch comes out and then buy the license. Unfortunately, it doesn't give an optimization strategy. But the first option is do nothing. The second option is migrate to a new version. I think this is pretty straightforward. The third option is migrate to Azure and then gain 3 years free of support, because when you move your SQL Server 2014, migrate, lift the shift or another version and use the 2013-14 version, you will get free of charge extended security updates. And then later in time you can modernize it or upgrade or migrate to a newer version. The fourth option is buy extended support to your traditional licensing agreements, like your enterprise agreement, enterprise subscription agreement, MPSA or CSP. And there the licensing model covers the same model as your normal SQL Server licenses. So it's a per core license model with a minimum of 4 core requirement. So you can just procure that. It's an annual subscription. So if you buy that in your enterprise agreement, for example, you buy that later in time, let's say in September, you still pay from July to July because it's a 12-month subscription term. The last option Microsoft introduced last year, and this is through Azure Arc. When you connect your on-premise environment with Azure, it's called the Azure Arc environment. And with that option, you pay and you are able to have a monthly subscription for the extended security updates, which benefits you when you migrate to a newer version, because it still starts in July. Nevertheless, if you start in September, your costs still start in July the 9th. But when you migrate later in September later that year or in the beginning of 2025, you can stop and exit your monthly subscription. So you don't have to pay for a full year. So that's your first optimization opportunity. Secondly, is this monthly subscription is 15% more cost effective than the annual subscription. So this is where you could achieve the cost saving. So in total, which cost saving opportunities and strategies do you have? So the first one in your traditional licenses is through your server and cloud enrollment, where you get 5% additional program discount. Second option is the Azure Arc, right, where you could benefit from the monthly term when migrating to a newer version and have then a longer subscription period than or shorter than 12 months. And the third option is also the Azure Arc option, where the license cost is 15% more cost effective. So what are the rules of the game? There are 2 rules that apply. So the first one is you need to have active software assurance on your SQL Server 2014 server. So that's the first requirement, otherwise you are not eligible to add that extended security update to your SQL Server. And the second rule of the game is that it doesn't matter when you procure those licenses, you always will back pay until from July on. So for example, what we mentioned before, if you procure your extended security updates later in time with the releasing of the first patch in September or the second patch in December or January, and if you start procuring then the extended security updates, you still will have a backwards payment of from July on. So that's important to recognize. So if you plan and need extended security updates, you just could buy directly in July because there's no cost saving to achieve there. So then the second question, how do I use it? How do I install those extended security updates? So on Azure, when you have activated the updates, then automatically Microsoft will push the extended security updates. For on-premise, you are able to go to your M365 admin center and portal to download the license key and install it on your virtual machine. And then the third option is the Azure Arc. There you can just download and roll out the server installation. As always, thank you for watching. If you have any additional questions, go to our blog or website or reach out to the 2Data team or myself. We're here to help you in optimizing your software spend. For now, see you next week. Bye-bye.